Hey y'all, Nico here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Nico. So today's video is day 7 of our core yoga challenge. It's our final day, and we are going to spend this practice working up into crow pose. So some of you may be a little more intermediate and may already be able to get into crow pose. So if that's the case, you can work on jumping up into crow pose, like coming from down dog and then jumping your knees forward onto your forearms to move into that more advanced version of crow pose. Otherwise, if this is your first time attempting crow pose, or if you're not quite there, we're going to work our body up into a crow pose modification. So you will need a couple of blocks. If you don't have any yoga blocks, just grab yourself a couple of thick books or anything that is square and hard and that you can balance yourself on, anything that's safe to do that with. So we're just going to be doing poses again that are going to open our body up and strengthen our body in the ways that it needs to be to help us to get into crow. So you might not get it this first time, and that's totally fine, but just keep doing the practice, and hopefully eventually you can work your body up into the crow pose modification and eventually into full crow. So we're going to jump straight into the practice. If you want to do a warm-up, feel free to do my 15-minute yoga warm-up video. Otherwise, just come to a seated position and take a couple breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, come up to table position. Let's work into our cat-cow. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, eyes of the elbows rotated forward. Inhale, flip the tailbone upward, lift the chin, drop the belly. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, bring the chin down to the chest. Moving in and out of cat-cow with your breath. And as you're moving through cat-cow, I'm just going to remind you again to use modifications when you need them. Take breaks when you need them. Work within your range and listen to your body. If your body doesn't like something, feel free to come out of the pose. Building strength and flexibility takes time, so just don't be discouraged if you're not able to do the full pose right away. Let's do one more round. Inhale and exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Let's float our body down to our belly, hands underneath shoulders, tuck those elbows in, and lift the chest. Come into baby cobra. You can also come to sphinx on the forearms. You can also press into those hands and come up to up dog, whatever your preference is. And I like to shift my weight, bringing some weight into the belly. Inhale. Exhale, bring those big toes together, knees out wide. Come into child's pose, melting down towards your mat. On your next inhale, float your body back forward. Tuck those toes under, lift the hips up and back as we come to a down dog. You could also stay down on the knees, arms extended out for puppy pose. And let's pedal our feet out. Good. On your next inhale, we'll walk our feet in a half step on each side, and we'll start to extend that right leg straight back. Inhale. Exhale, float your body forward to plank. Bring your knee to your nose. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Same thing. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Good. Inhale back one more time. Exhale, lower that right leg down, and as you lower that leg down, come to a plank position. Inhale, plank. Exhale, we're going to drop down to the forearms, come into a forearm plank. Holding here. And then from here, go ahead and rest your left knee down, and we're going to step our right foot on the outside of our right hand, come into lizard. You could also come up on your hands instead. I know being down a forearm plank might not feel the best for most people. So you're either up on those hands or you're down on those forearms. Come to lizard pose. We're trying to open this hip up here. Inhale. Exhale, come up on those hands if you're not already there. Walk the right foot towards the center until you have a hand on either side of the foot, and we're going to get ready to come up into high lunge. So we're tucking that back toe under, lifting that left knee off of the ground, and then we're going to sweep our arms up for a high lunge. Good. Inhale. Exhale, rotate the back heel down flat and straighten the front knee. Release the arms behind you, interlacing the fingers, opening the chest and shoulders, lifting the chin. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to lower our chest down towards this front leg, coming to pyramid pose. Now, if lowering down like that isn't comfortable for you, feel free to rest your hands on this front leg. Otherwise, you can let those arms come up behind you. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee, bring the hand on either side of the foot, come into a lunge position. Step that right foot back, come to plank, and we'll move through a vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, make your way to down dog. Good. Taking a couple breaths. We'll get ready to do all that on the other side. So walk those toes in a half step. Extend that left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, come forward, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Inhale back. Exhale, lower the left foot down. Float your body forward to a plank position. Inhale, plank. Exhale, come down to the forearms. You can also modify down on the knees. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop those knees down. And then step that left foot on the outside of the left hand, either coming up on the hands for lizard pose or coming down to the forearms, staying down on the forearms. We want to open these hips up to prepare for our crow pose, our bakasana. When you're ready, come back up on those hands. If you're not already there, walk that left foot to the center, and we'll get ready to come to high lunge on this side. Tucking that back toe under, lifting that back knee off the ground, sweeping the arms up for high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, rotate that back heel down flat, straighten the front knee, interlace the fingers behind you. Lift the chest, open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, pyramid pose. Remember, you can bring your hands to the shin if you need to. You can also let your hands come down to the ground if you like. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee, come to a lunge position. Step that left foot back as you come to plank and move through your vinyasa. Ending in down dog. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, float your body forward. Coming back to plank. Just holding here for a couple moments, couple breaths. Keeping those hips low. Modify down on the knees if you need to. Inhale. Exhale, lower down to your belly, all the way down to your belly. From here, we're going to take those arms and let them rest at our sides. And we'll get ready to move into locust pose. So go ahead and lift your chest, lift your shoulders off the ground. Try to bring your gaze straight forward. And then after that, go ahead and lift your legs off the ground as well. So we're activating the glutes here, reaching those arms up and back for locust pose. Take an inhale, exhale, release. You can stack your hands, let your forehead rest. I'm breathing heavy. We are working hard, but that's okay. We're doing all these poses to strengthen our body, to get us up into those poses we've been wanting to do. So we'll do that again. Arms come down at your sides. Roll your shoulders back, chest lifts off the ground, gaze comes forward. Go ahead and lift those hands off the ground, letting those arms extend behind you. And then lift the legs off the ground as well. Squeeze those glutes, press the pelvis into the ground. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Rest that forehead down. We'll do that one last time. Let's get our bodies ready again. Arms rest at our sides. Roll the shoulders back. Chin is parallel to the floor. Gaze is forward. Let those hands extend back behind you. Lift those legs. Press the pelvis into the ground. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, release. Good. From here, take those hands, bring them underneath the shoulders, and we're going to shift our weight back, coming to child's pose. So you can bring your knees close together for this child's pose and let your arms rest down at your sides. Just lowering down over the knees, making a little ball with your body. Inhale, exhale, come back up, and you're going to extend your legs out in front, letting your hands rest at your sides. Hands rest on either side of your hips, and then you're going to bring your hands a little bit behind you until you kind of get into a diagonal where that core is activated, and we're going to get ready to lift our hips off the ground. So even if you can just lift them a little bit, that's okay. Just straightening your arms. But if you can, bring your hips off the ground, making a ramp from the shoulders down towards the heels. That's what we would like to look for eventually. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, back to a seated position, taking a little rest, and we'll do that one last time. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands on either side of the hips, floating your body back, bringing those fingers a couple inches behind your hips, and either just straightening those arms out, lifting as much as you can, or lifting those hips until you make a ramp from your shoulders down towards your heels. Good. Lower down. Nice. And then we're going to swing those legs around, coming back up to a table position, and then we will come to a down dog. So tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Now bring your gaze forward and bring your feet on the outside of your hands. So if you want to bring your hands a little bit close together, you can. Or we're just stepping those feet up on the outside of our hands. Bring those hands to heart center, lift the chest, bring the elbows inside of the knees, and come down to Malasana squat. So the hips may be up high or they can be down lower. You can grab a block and sit on your block for support in your Malasana. This is a great modification. or you can bring those hips down lower if you're comfortable here. Trying to keep the chest lifted, nice straight back, elbows press into the knees and knees press into the elbows. Trying to keep our feet flat on the ground if you're able to do so. So again, to do that, you might have to keep your hips lifted up a little higher. Now from here, we're going to get ready to move into our Bakasana, or our crow pose. So again, feel free to take a rest and watch me for a moment while I explain. So again, if you are already proficient in your crow pose, you can practice jumping up from your down dog or your plank into crow, which is something I haven't mastered yet. But it will look something like this. Your hands are out in front of you. You jump up and you land in your crow, which is kind of tough. You could use blocks here for support too. Maybe landing on those blocks can help you build up the strength to be able to do it without the blocks. So if you're proficient in your crow pose, feel free to work on that. Otherwise, we're going to take these blocks and bring them behind us. And we're trying to build up the strength to eventually not have to use the blocks. So if you are using your blocks, you can just start in a down dog coming out of your Malasana squat. And then take your toes, bring them onto your blocks. So from there, walk your hands back until you feel those knees meet your forearms. And then bending the elbows slightly, you can kind of, in a way, let your knees rest on your forearms. And this is just preparatory, but eventually we want to be able to bring our feet off of our blocks. Finding our focal point here, be very, very careful if you're practicing this. And then you can rest your toes back down onto your blocks. And you can also just practice lifting one foot off at a time. So just take these next couple moments to play with that and see how that feels in your body. Now, if you feel like you don't need the blocks, feel free to remove them and move into the full expression of crow pose. Trying to keep your arms straight. If you're moving into that full expression, your knees are kind of somewhat on the outside of your elbows, so you can start there. Kind of squeezing your elbows with your knees and lifting one foot and lifting the other. And then when you are ready, and you're done messing around with your crow pose, you can move back down into your Malasana squat. So feel free to take more time to play with that if you want to. Again, the goal is to eventually not need our blocks, but use your blocks as long as you need to. Take an inhale, exhale, bring those hands down in front of you, step those knees back, come into a table position, moving out of our Malasana squat, and then make your way down to a seat. I like to just cross my legs behind me, bring my legs out in front. And from here, we're going to bend at our right knee, step it over the left leg, sweep the left arm up, inhale, exhale, twist to the right, bringing that left elbow on the outside of the right knee, right fingertips face the back wall, gaze comes over the right shoulder. Just getting a stretch in that back. Trying to do some of those balancing poses can sometimes be really hard on your back. Inhale, exhale, release back to center. Extend that right leg, bend at the left leg, stepping it over the right, sweep the right arm up, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left, elbow on the outside of the knee, Left fingertips face the back wall. Gaze comes over the back shoulder. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Extend that leg out. Sweep those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, lead with the chest. Come down to a seated forward bend. Stretching those legs out a little bit. Getting a stretch in that lower back too. Release the hands, roll up to a seated position. You can flip over onto your belly for a moment and just come to Sphinx pose on those forearms just to stretch the belly out a little bit. Kind of think about lifting your chest through those arms, pulling your chest through your arms, and you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in your belly. Inhale, exhale, come down to your back. Hug those knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. One last big squeeze. Inhale, exhale, release. Releasing those feet towards the corners of the mat. Arms resting at your sides. If you want to move into a Shavasana or a final rest, you can turn this video off now and spend the next few minutes here. Otherwise, that completes day 7 of our core yoga challenge, our crow flow, our bakasana flow. And that's the end of our challenge, you guys. We made it all the way through. So if you made it all the way through to the end of the challenge, kudos to you. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this challenge as a whole, what kind of challenges you would like to see next, if you want a week-long challenge, if you want to do a meditation challenge, what pose you want to work up into. Leave a comment down below letting me know. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Peace and love.